When you're lonely at night and you can hear the bears outside trying to find you. Huples Cat! Unboxing the August Apocabox Plus package from Stewart. This is what's in the box, and I've already had a look at it. I have to say, the Plus item is absolutely awful, so I'll do that last. The black hat for special ops. Nobody will see me in this black hat. What do you think? Now Stewart's pushing these patches so you can get a patch a month. I have no idea why I'd want a patch a month, but anyway, he gives me a free one to get me excited, and he gives me this hat to get me into the patches, which I will not be subscribing to. This one's kind of fun though. Bigfoot wearing a Bigfoot. Colorized one in this box, no, not all. And this is what's in the box. Exciting, eh? One of the items I always tell people to carry in the wild is actually in this box. This is a micro towel. When you're lonely at night and you can hear the bears outside trying to find you, you can rub this and feel soft and gentle. However, its main use will be as a towel. You can also use it to clean off gear and clean out kayaks and canoes. You can also use this as a stage 1 purifier of water. It will not make the water safe to drink, but you can remove obvious debris by pouring the water through this before you put it into your purification device. This, of course, is Stewart's new logo. I actually kind of like this. I think it's actually a decent micro towel, decent size. You can use it as a neck bandana if it's really sweaty and you don't want the sweat to go down here, or it's cold, you can trap the air with that. You can also use it as a head device to stop the sun getting at you. I've got a pretty big head, by the way. Maybe my head's too big for the towel. So you can use it like this as well. Very useful tool. You can use it for splinting, use it as bandages, whole bunch of use for micro towels. I strongly advise you have micro towels if you're going to go on a bug out, hiking or camping. I'm not generally known for my mechanical abilities, but I was actually pleased to get this. This is a quite an expensive version of a socket kit, and you have 6 types of socket and they're held together in this, and you pull them out and use them accordingly. Actually kind of pleased to get this. It's a pretty decent tool for my socket needs. I do of course have socket kits, but this is a to-go kit. It's actually quite compact and not too heavy. Solid enough. Yeah, I like this. A couple of years ago I had to buy one of these, not because I wanted to hijack a plane, but because I actually needed to make some cuts on stuff, and this is the kind of tool that I wanted for it, so I had to buy one. So I do have one knocking around in my tool guy. But I'm quite pleased to get a Gerber version, and I'm quite pleased for it to be unused, and I will leave it in the package, and if I ever need one, I have one. Textured grip and a little clip. Anyway, these always stay in a toolbox for me. I don't carry them on my belt. Now, I really like getting pocket field guides, and I'm really happy I've got this, but I don't like the guide. Absolutely pointless. Carry a Bic, carry a ferro rod. If you have to use a bow drill, you're really in trouble.
There are many times when you're going to be out creek, and just a tip maybe for people. Fuel is one thing we know we need. Absolutely. If everything's wet around us, and it is today, we need to start a fire, how do you do it?
Well, I tell you what, we've been told our whole life that junk food can kill us, but I'm actually going to show you a little tip.
You're right.
Where it just might save your life. Believe it or not, these corn chips down here, because they're fried in oil, are incredibly flammable. One bag of corn chips can start an entire campfire. You can just get a flame, then you can get a fire.
You can sure see that it's charring, and boy, there it goes.
With these corn chips. You know, just one of them can get a bunch of them going, and before long, you've got a full-on campfire going just using corn chips.
That's unbelievable.
It's crazy, right?
All right, and practically everybody I know, when you're going hiking or you're going anywhere, this is one of the things you just take with you.
Hey, you know, all kinds of snack foods and chips, and a lot of different ones work.
Would it work for just about any potato chip?
Absolutely. If it's fried in oil, it's flammable.
All right, and now if we had like a dry source, if we had like twigs or moss or leaves or something like that, we'd pile it on top of that, build the fire, start putting wood on top of that, and we're good to go.
Exactly. You can see even in high winds, this is really stable, so it makes a really good fire tender.
Stewart, survival expert of the Weather Channel.
But it's a pretty decent sized book, and it has lots of extra things in here that you might want to find. It's useful for embers and timbers and what you should be using. Very good book. Quite glad I've got it. But as I say, carry a Bic or a ferro rod, preferably both. So it now proudly goes in my collection of Stewart field guides. As you can tell, they're all kind of odd shaped, which is also something I like in books. It's not cookie cutter because he's got such a low production run. They gave me one of these, and I'm going to field test this next week when I go on a 70-kilometre multi-day kayaking trip on my own down the Mississippi River, the famous Mississippi River of Canada. Being somewhat too portly, quite pleased I've got this. Now I have already opened it and I have already flayed it and I have already crushed it back down again. So it seems to work quite well. What in fact it is a self-inflating seat. So you can put it on anything and even the ground and have a bit more comfort. Being self-inflated means it inflates itself. I can hear it inflating, but you can always blow it up as well. I'm going to be very interested to see how this performs on the kayaking trip, whether it in fact will last. Yeah, nice, like this. Really happy I have this. Deflation's fairly straightforward. Because it's self-inflating, make sure you shut the valve off. Nice little piece of Velcro that should last well to actually seal it. And a nice nylon bag. Freak, I know you don't watch me, but if you ever do, this is the way you want to go with the Apocabox. Give us value items, actually decent quality stuff that are designed for ultralight camping. It fits in well with the bushcrafting niche as well as bushcrafting stuff. Maybe go easy on the knives. How many knives do you want us to have? Now before I get into the awful plus item this month, which I really do not like, there is a skills challenge and mostly I put them in a box and I'll do them if I'm totally bored in an apocalypse, but otherwise I'm not ever going to do them. This one I'm going to do. He sent me a nice yellow tin for emergencies. Not everybody got a yellow tin, some people got a black tin with a yellow sticker. And you open it. I think you could use this to make char cloth, but in fact don't, because you don't need to make char cloth, but that's an entirely different topic. On the base of this, if you deny yourself the connection to the well places that your soul craves, the fire inside of you will slowly turn to ash. I'm Huples Cat and I approve of this message. Anyway, it's a tiny tin. I don't believe in carrying tiny tins on your person. Main reason being, if you fall over, and you will in disaster situations, these can really cause serious injury if they're in your trouser pocket or on your arms. Even here, they can cause quite significant bruising and injuries if you fall over with a tin on you. The idea behind this skills challenge is to make yourself a tiny little survival tin. And I'm going to do that, but not on this video. Creek has sent a whistle, but in truth, whistles should be on your person. Quite loud. Yeah, one of the most useless pieces of gear people carry is to actually signal aircraft and helicopters flying overhead. You'd be much better off carrying an orange tarp. But again, it'd be a bit bulky. This it won't fit in the tin. This is always a nice little thing to get, mostly because I like to check myself in the wilds and I like to have a decent mirror. This isn't a bad one, fairly decent reflective surface, but I won't put this in my emergency tin. People of a certain vintage from England will know this as sticky back plastic from the great show Blue Peter. And you have to cut it up and then you can stick it on things to mark your way if you have to go away from your camp. Really insufficient amount of this for this purpose. Again, I carry a roll of actual hunting tape on my backpack. It's always good to have some solid rolls, especially if you're going on trails in forests. You can mark the way in and out quite easily if you have plenty of tape. Even cut up into little strips. This is not really that great, but I guess it's better than nothing. I was actually going through a few packs last week which I don't use that have various bits and pieces in them. So I'm going to use them and see what I can come up with this. Now a bit extra because I'm getting the Apocabox Plus, and the Plus item is supposed to be something really great and it's supposed to be useful, and it keeps being knives, and let's face it, we don't need more knives than we already have. This one's even worse because it's a Reptile Works Karambit Knife with sheath. You'll have the sheath because nobody's vegan in bushcrafting, and the knife. Well, yeah, make some sort of a handle out of this. The only real use for me for all of this type of stuff which you keep sending, it's kind of sharp actually, would be to make spears and booby traps out of. Other than that, it's really kind of a waste of time and I'm not happy to get it. So that's it for me, Huples Cat, looking for stuff to put in my survival tin. This won't go in. Let me know in the comments below which was the worst item in this kit for you, which was the best item in this kit for you if you'd received this kit, and tell me why. It's always fascinating to find out what people find important and unimportant, because everybody has a different opinion and we're all valid, or we're all wrong. You pick which it is. Have a great week. Toodles. This has been a 2024 ApocaBox Terrier production.